So it's nighttime now at the house, and I didn't get really a chance to show you guys, but at night, Carla likes to hold one of the possums. So check it out. There's Yogurt. How's he doing?
He's delicious.
Yeah, a little Yogurt. He's camera shy.
He's a little upset because it's morning for him right now.
Yeah, he's just waking up.
Yeah.
He's a good little guy.
Yeah, he's getting a little better.
Yeah.
He's not as like skittish.
They're getting bigger though. Yeah. He's picked up quite a bit of size.
Oh yeah, I can feel his belly. Or he's got like a little pot belly.
So we're gonna be with these for a while until they're big enough to really do good on their own. But for now, they're just loving life in their little habitat.
There he is.
Pretty sweet.
Here's my entire possum.
Look at that. Carla's really proud of this one.
Yeah, this is a magnificent specimen. Oh gosh.
All right, put him back.
Put him back.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go into his little hole there real quick. Oh, he's out. He's just hanging out now. Hey, buddy. Oh, there he goes. All right. So, I am on an official mini vacation. I'm off from the shop, and I'm just kind of hanging around the house. We're gonna go to the beach, do some cool stuff. Just me and Carla. But I wanted to do a little video about something different. You guys are getting pumped with Skylines and pumped with cars here and there and this and that. And every once in a while, I keep saying to myself, I want to do a video about my RC cars. I've done planes before. I'm gonna do them again. I'm kind of getting the itch to do some more plane stuff. But I'm gonna show you guys a few of my favorite RC cars in this video. The first car that I want to show you guys that kind of, I don't know, it's kind of really cool. So Traxxas is like my favorite. I love Traxxas cars. I always have. And I've got Team Associated, I've had Losi, I've had a whole bunch of, every brand you can imagine, but the one that really sticks out is Traxxas to me, because Traxxas made a really conscious effort to create what I consider the most fun and technical RC cars. So I guess it was about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer, they started doing this crazy controller that that was basically for a bunch of different cars, and it's called the TQI, which was basically a controller that hooked up to your iPhone. It was really cool, and I don't even have an iPhone that works with it anymore because it uses this old port. I'm sure there's like an adapter or something I can stick on it, I might have. But anyway, what's really cool about these controllers is they have onboard telemetry on the cars that feeds back to the controller, and you can actually check everything. You can see top speed, you can see RPM on the motor, you can see all kinds of different trim controls, braking, acceleration, you name it. And any of you who have really been in this for a while might recognize this one because it's got a special little extra something on it. And it's basically this little toggle switch that has 3 different modes. You got burnout, stage, and race. This is for the Dragster. So this is a really cool car. It's an 8th scale, almost 8th scale. I don't know if it's actually 8th scale, but I think it is. 8th scale, top fuel funny car. And I added these little pipes to it. It's really cool. And it opens just like a real Dragster from the front here. Comes up. And it looks kind of realistic in there. It's got like a cage and stuff. But my favorite thing about this car is that it really does emulate that Dragster experience, because the controller has different like features on it that allow you to launch the car basically. So you have your trim controls clearly, but this one is really cool because this one actually trims the power. So you can numb it way down for launching it. You can just basically pull the throttle, and the application of throttle is very soft. Or you can turn it way up and it'll spin. But you have your burnout mode, which basically creates, basically like a full throttle, but not crazy fast mode. And then you have your stage, which makes it creep really slow, and then you have your race, which really lets it go. So a really cool car altogether. I'm going to take these cars out and run them. I'll do it in another video. But I am going to take these cars out. I'm going to run them. I haven't had them running in a long time, but I know they work. And I have the sensors on them and everything, so we can really utilize this controller with this setup. This is a 2-cell battery. I've run it on 3-cell, 4-cell, you name it. The thing hauls ass. I did 70-something miles per hour in the scale quarter mile with it. I forget what my best time is. I gotta go back. I'll dig up the footage and put it here now so you can see this thing run. But basically, I know it was a 2-second scale quarter mile, 132 feet. And like I said, at top speed, I know I've cracked 70 plus miles per hour with it. But it's a handful to run this thing. Also, I have the drag strip for it as well, which was really cool. I don't have it here. It's at the shop. But it's the actual drag strip that shows you all the times and everything. So that'll be in the video. You can see that. But what really got me cracking and started like early on and got me raging on RC stuff is this thing down here. It's really special. It's completely not running right now. I have it all apart. But you might recognize this if you're old school. This is a Traxxas Fortec. This is an electric Fortec. Now, a lot of you have had Nitro Fortec for sure, but electric was the first one. The electric Fortecs were a really cool on-road car that kind of got the ball rolling for Traxxas in the RC car scene. And, well, I don't say the ball rolling. I've got an old Nitro Hawk that's even older than that. And you got the T-Max sitting over there. But this is really cool for me because it really let me do some things that have never been done before. This chassis is an official world record holder for back in the day. I don't know what it is now, but this is 4 cells, electric. I went 111 miles per hour. That's radar and GPS confirmed. I'll put the video here so you can see me making that pass, but it was extremely, extremely fast. This is 10th scale, so it really was something to go that fast. I was using all Mamba stuff. This is a Mamba 7700. I had the Mamba speed controller. I still have it, but it's at the shop. And I've basically disassembled this. I took the servos out of it. I took the battery out of it. I took everything out of it, but the chassis is still good. And it's a really cool chassis because this has got a carbon fiber upper and lower with all of the lightweight hardware, and it's got aluminum A-arms. This is all old stuff. And, you know, for the time when I was going that fast, I think it was 2008. It was 10 years ago. This was something. That was a pretty healthy record for this stuff. Slipper clutch. All kinds of cool stuff going on here. The body was really the key, though. I ran a few different bodies, and this is the one that gave me the speed I needed. The other bodies that I did weren't able to achieve it, but this one was. So you see this is a protoform stock car body that I actually trimmed down real low, got it real close. I left the wheel cutouts in to streamline it, cut the back out to let out all the air, and I put on these. I made these are real simple vertical stabilizers, and that's how you keep the airflow nice and straight and keep this thing from moving around. This body was, in my experience, the best one speed-wise. I had all different kinds of bodies, but this is the one that I ended up with, and it really set the bar for me when I started playing around with this stuff. And the next Traxxas car that, well, I'm going to say the next one that was kind of part of this whole TQI setup, I'll show you now. So this is another really sweet car. You got the TQI controller, and you might already know what it is. If you don't, do your homework. This is an X01. So this car was touted by Traxxas as a 100-mile-an-hour car out of the box, if I remember correctly. When I first got into this, I was like really hype on this because I had already had this car that did 111. So I was like, well, hell, what's the next step to go up? This is it. So the The X01 was this awesome RC car, aerodynamically incredible. Had tires that were capable of crazy speed. These tires are really hard, real tight, real low profile. Let's pull the body off so you can kind of see what's going on in here, because the magic happens underneath. So, pull the body shell up, and what you end up with here is some craziness. So this is big, by the way. This is not 10th. Here you can see 10th scale next to it in comparison. So this is basically an 8th scale car, or bigger, but really robust. The system here is you can see a drive shaft here. It's 4-wheel drive, driven by this monster brushless motor, and 2 of these 6-cell batteries, or 6-cell? I can't remember what they were. Oh, nope, 3-cell. But they're in series, so it became 6-cell. That's what it was. So we got 2 3-cell batteries that were run in series. They're linked together with this Y into the speed controller, this ginormous TRX speed controller, and this thing hauls ass. So 100 miles an hour out of the box, which is insane, especially for when this thing was made. Like I said, that was a big deal. And of course, I've got this one juiced up. So we have a gyro on board. This is standard issue GY 401 from a helicopter. This is used to keep this thing straight, because at these speeds, I had this on this car at one point, but I moved it to this one because I wanted to go for a lot higher speeds. But at these speeds, you are really playing with fire, and you need to make sure this thing stays straight. So I have made a couple of glory pulls with it, and I did wreck it a couple times. It's still in one piece, even though I did have to replace a whole bunch of stuff. A-arms broke, all kinds of stuff. Every time you crash at these speeds, it's a failure, it's catastrophic. You are replacing a lot of junk. But this one has been completely rebuilt, and it's ready to go again for another big speed run. But I don't have everything set up yet aerodynamically on this one. So, top speed, this car should be able to, I haven't done it myself yet, but this car should be able to achieve about 130 miles per hour. And that's maxed out. So, maybe one day I'll make another rip at it. I have to build a body basically like that to get rid of this. The aerodynamics on this were not great in my testing. So, I'm gonna have to build a body something like that. Find a body that fits this thing, and really go to town with it. But the gyro makes a huge difference if you're trying to get that kind of speed and keep it stable. So you can see all the good hardware in here. This thing is all super high end. These things were not cheap when they were new. I think they were about $1,000 when they were new. So really cool. Figured I'd share those two. These are two of my favorite, or a few of my favorite, I should say, RCs. I got plenty more. We'll go through them all at some time, but I wanted to share those. I am going to run these things, so stay tuned for more videos on that. But if you're hype on RC stuff, let me know. And I hope you guys don't mind a couple of boring videos in a row, because I'm on vacation. Leave me alone. Or at least have fun with me. See you guys in the next one.